Hey everybody, it's Eddie Joe on Crypto for Grow My Bag TV. There was so much going on for the Crypto Minute. I only got through, I think, 6 different points. I still wanted to talk about Ripple's quarterly report and what they plan on doing with the XRP escrow release, the Ethereum options expiration, Bitcoin and Ethereum options expiration today, SBI Holdings partnering with TradeFinex, also involving XDC Network, Celsius flipping over to being a miner, a Bitcoin miner, and the SEC charging Diana Mae Fernandez with securities fraud and basically operating a Ponzi scheme. So let's dig into everything that I spoke about. First, let's go to India. India's got to be the strangest country for me to think about when it comes to crypto. And the reason why is because they seem to flip-flop and go different ways when it comes to crypto. In this case, I think that they're saying to external exchanges, exchanges not operating in India but not based in India, hey, what are you doing, right? Not following our rules. India's also been a pain in the tail when it comes to rules, which is why you have a lot of companies that actually have left India. So we've got something that we should be paying attention to. India also got into a trade deal with UAE for oil and paying for it using rupees and not the US dollar. That's very interesting. Up and coming, economy, pretty strong. Rupee actually means something now. I can see why you would do that. Okay, but remember, they're a part of BRICS, and that's what I'm paying attention to. Now, the Canadian exchange Catalyx, centralized crypto exchange, got hit. They got hacked. So they're ceasing operations for a little bit. They're suspending trading because obviously they don't want any more to be lost. So they're still investigating at this point. From what I last read, they were still investigating as to what happened, what's going on. Credible Crypto says that, yes, we can expect meteoric rise, but we might see a dip lower before we see a rise higher when it comes to Bitcoin. I can kind of see that. I can kind of understand that way of thinking. But then I sit back and I go, the momentum is too large. The momentum is too big to pull all the way back down to $32,000, which is what a lot of people are talking about, 32, 36. And I'm just like, I just don't see it happening. The math isn't mathing for me in that regard. So I don't know about that one. I can understand that, right now you've seen a hit, across crypto where, prices are coming down and all that good stuff. But I think that's more profit, end of year profit taking than I think that, it's going to take a major dip. You have a major event that's on the immediate horizon. So when is it supposed to happen, right? You have a major event or a major series of events that's supposed to happen between now and even just June. So what's the timing of that event? I mean, granted, you could see a drop in a day and a pickup the next day. You can definitely see that. I mean, think about what happened to Solana just now. It was up to like 124, $1.24, $1.25, and then dropped all the way down to a buck and 100. And you sit there and you're kind of like, holy crap, that was a drop of 20%, like that. So yeah, it can happen. But I've been saying to people, you're starting to see higher lows. So yes, you can see this drop, but that drop is still higher than where it came from. And that's what I keep pointing to. So I don't know about that one. Now, looking at this whole EMURGO thing with Cardano, that's pretty cool. What they're saying is we have a 2024 roadmap, and it's looking bright. So I'm expecting a lot out of Cardano. I'm always looking for a lot out of Cardano. It's fast, it's reliable, and it can do things. Like you can do things with it. I think people forget that, yes, you have BRC20s that are going on, on Bitcoin right now, but it's driving up prices. It's doing a whole bunch of stuff, causing congestion. But then you also have to think it's not that fast. Bitcoin is not fast. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's fast, but it's not as fast as other platforms. And when you look at Cardano's pretty doggone fast. Solana's pretty doggone fast. Ethereum is suffering from speed issues, which is why Matic's doing so well, because they have a solution in place for speed issues and looking at more. So I just look at all these things and I just kind of go, just remember where Bitcoin is, what Bitcoin is used for. And as soon as people fill up on Bitcoin, they're going to start realizing, holy crap, if we really want to do stuff, we better start looking at other platforms. Why do you think all these tests that are going on involve Ripple, Aave, Polygon, Uniswap? We're talking about global DeFi transactions that are happening on with other cryptos. That's not happening with Bitcoin. So I think you need to understand what specific cryptos can do, right? What those specific Bitcoin, what Bitcoin can do, what other cryptos can do, and then understand what their usefulness is, how much does it cost, and what's the reason why people would use other cryptos. That's why I pay attention to, when one goes up, does another one go down? Do they go up, in unison? Just what's going on and how much does that mean? Solana's going up because it's got a lot of, meme coins on it. Meme coins that are doing something. It's got a lot of NFTs on it. I remember when I was reporting on NFTs on Solana a long time ago. It was like, oh, it was a tiny little market. It's not so freaking tiny now. So this is why I pay attention to these things. This is why I do my own research every day. And that's why I ask you to do the same thing. Now, Pink Drainer. Pink Drainer is a cyber hacking crew for all intents and purposes. And they snatched somebody for $4.4 million worth of Chainlink. That's huge. That is huge. Not your keys, not your crypto. But if you're going to have your keys, if you're not going to leverage a custodial service, meaning a centralized exchange or something like that, if you're not going to leverage a custodial service, you have to be careful with what you're doing. Very, very careful. All right? So pay attention to these things. Ripple also has a schedule for, releasing all that XRP out of escrow. So we should be paying attention to that because every time there's a release, you're probably going to see a little bit of a dip, and then it'll come back. But once it's all over, handcuffs are off, right? So we'll have to pay attention and see how that rocks on. There's also Bitcoin and Ethereum options expire today. They're expiring today, so I'm expecting to see some movement. It's the last trading day for stocks, it's the last trading day of the year. The last trading day of the year for crypto doesn't happen until what, Sunday? So Sunday at midnight. So this is what we're all paying attention to. I'm looking to see what's going to go up and how many people are going to react to take profit this year, or how many people are going to react to take loss this year, right? We'll see what happens. SBI Holdings has partnered with TradeFinex to open up XDC Network as a blockchain in Asia. That's actually a very big deal. If you're holding XDC, this is something that you were waiting for. This is something you were paying attention to. And if you pay attention to SBI Holdings, remember just a few minutes ago, I was telling you about how there have been DeFi pilot programs going on around the world. SBI Holdings is one of those companies that was involved. So we should really be paying attention. All right. And Celsius Network got approval. I told you a couple of weeks ago, maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago, that they were going to try to become a Bitcoin miner. Guess what? Judge said, yep, you can go ahead and do that. So that's going to be interesting. Because remember, they have a lot of money to pay back. So I'm looking for them to make money off of Bitcoin mining, be able to pay off their bills and exit, bankruptcy, all that good stuff. So there's a lot going on with Celsius that I'm paying attention to. The SEC has charged Diana Mae Fernandez. Now, this is crazy. Allegedly, she's been dealing with securities offerings. More than that, the SEC is saying that she's just running a Ponzi scheme. Wow. And it goes along with, I was reading an article yesterday. I forgot where I was reading it, but some guy that people, please do your own research. Please, 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 please take the time to educate yourself when it comes to crypto. There was a guy who was arrested for allegedly selling Chuck E. Cheese coins as Bitcoin. I kid you not. They're saying he made $1 million off of that. there are the gullible. I don't want you to be gullible. I want you to learn and grow, and like the company is, grow your bag. But pay attention to these things. There are scammers out there. There are people that want to separate you from your investments. Do your own research and stay on top of it. That's all I'm asking. Just do your own research, stay on top of things. Don't get taken by people like this. People ask me, well, how come you don't give a class? I don't give classes because I'm afraid that I would be seen as one of those people. I'm not trying to give you financial advice. I'm just trying to share my research. And I'm hoping that, you guys join me on growmybag.tv and share your research so we can all grow together. But I'm afraid of teaching classes. I don't want to be brought up on charges. I'm not a financial advisor, right? I don't get paid for any of this stuff, except for companies that want to host with my company or things like that. But I don't want to give classes because I don't want to be seen as somebody who is running a Ponzi scheme or trying to sell you something. No, that's not it. And people say, well, basically you're teaching us every time you do a video. Okay, cool. It's going to take a little bit more for me to be convinced that I should give a class on, how I do my research, what sources I use, for my research. How often do I research? I research all the time. How I take notes, where I'm saving my notes, all that good stuff. Remember, the driving force behind me doing all of this is just because I want to teach my kids. And just like any other kids, they don't want to listen to mommy and daddy. That's not what they want to do. But this is a way I can shoot videos, and this is a way for them to learn, without having to listen to mommy and daddy. Just say it. So, it's just stuff like that. So that's what drives me. Anyway, you know what we should do? That's right. We should get into the numbers. So let's see here. You've got Bitcoin that's actually doing well. It's holding strong at 42.8. My number, my yellow line is at 44,741. The reason why is because that right here, that was the last time we hit that high. And that's what I'm paying attention to. So yeah, technically the line should be down here where you can see, more people, more opportunities or more times that it's touched the line. But I'm like, yeah, no, that was the high. That was the most recent high. I'm going to stick with that. That's how I do it. Not everybody does it like that. That's how I do it. And it's been working for me so far. So I keep it like that. But I do pay attention to, that's why you see all these colored lines, because I pay attention to when we're operating within a space. Like right now, if you pay attention, from 40,000 to that yellow line, 44,741, we've been operating laterally. The same thing happened here. The same thing happened here. And, here you start to realize we're operating in a lateral space. You see right here, you see all that movement within the green lines. And all of a sudden we just kept shooting up and up and up, and it just kept going. Right. These are the things that I tell people to pay attention to. All right. DeFi Llama, we're still up at $72 billion, 72.13, slightly lower from yesterday. In terms of total value locked, the Fear and Greed Index dropped from 73 to 65. Again, I think that's just because people are profit taking. It's the end of the year. That's what people do. Next week is going to be a really good week. We should get some numbers in. We're looking at the S&P manufacturing PMI. You have U.S. jobs on Wednesday. You have ADP employment on Thursday. And then you have the actual U.S. unemployment report, employment report and unemployment rate happening on Friday. These are things that we should be paying attention to that first week of the year, right? That really is. When you're looking across and you say, well, what's going on the big board? Well, here you go. You got a lot of red, but Solana's up. Remember what I told you about higher lows? Well, it was up all the way at 124, 125. Now it's down to $1.06. And you sit there and you're kind of like, wow, $1.06. Okay. So what did I do? I looked at BCH, which had come up for me, right? I made money on BCH, snatched that profit and put it into Solana. Why? Because Solana proved that, hey, in a short time, I can reach 125. right? So buy here, which is what I did yesterday. I bought a little bit lower than this. Buy here and make money. And I'm already making money on my purchase. These are the things that I'm paying attention to when I decide to make moves. Lido is down a lot that I'm noticing. That's actually a big deal. Matic would, touch below $1, but still up. Again, higher highs. Higher lows. These are so you know how I can tell you right now that there are certain prices, certain numbers that I just don't think we're going to see again for Bitcoin. If you start doing that same calculation across all the coins in your portfolio, you start to see the same thing and start to realize, am I ever going to see that number again? And this is where dollar cost averaging comes into play, right? If I don't think I'm going to see that number again, and I'm this far away from all-time high, see what I'm saying? The all-time high for Bitcoin is what, 69,000 and change, and you're at 42. Are you going to see 69 or are you going to see 32, 36? I think I'll see 69 before I see those numbers. I could be wrong and time will tell. But I really don't think we're going to see, it's possible we could see the 30s again. I don't think that we're going to see below 35,000 again. I really don't. And if we do, you know what I'll be doing? That's right. I'll be DCAing, I'll be taking some dry powder, and I'll be getting in. But I don't think I think there are certain numbers that we're just not going to see again. And, people are also talking about how things like Ethereum, certain coins like Ethereum, will most likely outperform Bitcoin. If you look at Solana, it's already outperformed Bitcoin. Look at Solana at 974% year to date. Look at Bitcoin, 158. Respectable, 158, right? It's still blowing away, Ethereum, still blowing away others. But have you been paying attention to Cardano? Have you been paying attention to Avalanche? Look at Avalanche, 281. Look at Chainlink, 188. There are other coins that are outperforming Bitcoin. Bitcoin is something I want to hold on to because it has a different set of use cases for me as the future goes on. Other coins I'm making purchases because they're outperforming. Anyway, this is Eddie J on crypto for Grow My Bag TV. I hope you have a good one. If you have any questions, drop me a note on Grow My Bag TV. That's where I'll be answering questions. Here's something else. There are more articles. So if you want more in-depth coverage of what I was talking about today, all the articles are on the website. The articles get published before I even shoot the videos. So if you see me on, early in the day shooting a video, those articles already came out. Anyway, I hope you have a good one. Bye-bye. Oh, do me a favor. If you like what I'm doing, drop me a note. If you don't like what I'm doing, I would greatly appreciate if you would tell me how I can make improvements. I love to improve. Anyway, hope you have a good one. Bye-bye.